Yes. Welcome back. How are you doing?
Yo.
It's been a while since I've been on a stream. I was awake for 4 days straight, which is never a good sign. Also, don't do that because you can get yourself very ill, like I did, and ended up with the illness that Lewis had the week before. And I can firmly say that Lewis was not being a melt and missing out on streams. It wiped him out like it wiped me out. And also, I have asthma to throw that into the mix. But at least we know whilst I'm coughing all the time. And yeah, how are y'all doing? I'm buzzing to be back. It's good. Walrus, any nosebleeds? Nah, I actually didn't get a nosebleed. Like, I'm low key disappointed that I never got to that stage. I thought that might have been a good level to meet that stage, but nah, we never made it. Although I was in a rough way on that World Cup final, but. Yeah, buzzing to be back. And there's news. It's City Xtra again. Obviously, World Cup now is firmly in the bin, which is I'm happy about, very happy about. We can all turn our attention back to the like actual Premier League stuff and like Carabao stuff and actual City. I think since the World Cup and like doing the watch long thumbnails and stuff like that, it's getting me back into it. And yesterday, bro. I started shitting it again, and now I'm really nervous for today. Like instantly, bro. I don't know what it is. I can't do a City game anymore without shitting it. My nerves are shot. I'm in the bin.
Yeah, I mean, this is it now. We're back on it. And we've actually got quite a lot of news because Joan Patsy's still talking. We've got rumours coming out of Spain about Bernardo Silva, which is obviously the title of the stream, and obviously we've got a few more quotes from Pep Guardiola's press conference that got released last night in the embargoed section. Now, before we get into it all, make sure you drop a like on the stream. We just got over 100 likes, yes. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Big up to the guys at BetVictor for sponsoring today's video. They've just released their latest video over there on their YouTube channel. We've linked it in the description, and you can go check it out after this stream. We'll play you a little clip, actually, from it a little bit later on. It's quite interesting talking about Arsenal title chances now that Jesus is injured and all that kind of stuff, man. So we'll play you that clip in due course. But let's get started and let's get into the main event of the stream, and that's Bernardo Silva. Now, we already know, due to Joan Patsy coming out over the last few days, saying that Bernardo Silva did actually definitely want to leave in the summer. He asked Manchester City that he basically told Manchester City that he wanted to leave. However, Patsy, who, just for people who didn't know, is the director of football for the City Football Group, said that we received no bids for Bernardo Silva in the summer, and Barcelona, we didn't hear anything from Barcelona, and he believes that Barcelona don't have the funds. So that's why Bernardo Silva ended up staying. However, interestingly, in the last day, Alfredo Martinez, who apparently is a pretty decent source, has come out and said Barcelona have definitely ruled themselves out of the potential signing of Bernardo Silva for Manchester City and will not return for Bernardo Silva in the summer of 2023. Now, that's coming from a pretty decent source. Of course, it's only speculation, but that begs the question as to what happens with Bernardo Silva now. Does he stay at Manchester City? Does he sign a new contract? Does he just keep running his contract down? Or does somebody else come in for him? Does another team come in for Bernardo Silva? We had rumours in the summer that maybe PSG were interested in Bernardo Silva, but nothing sort of materialised there. I mean, it's big news because he's saying that Bernardo Silva won't be going to Barcelona in the summer.
Yeah. The whole it's a bad, like, I'd love to be able to say, like, to be screaming from the rooftop that like Bernardo Silva not going to Barcelona is a good thing, but I don't know if it is yet. Like, because there's nothing to say that he's also staying, and there's nothing to say that. But it's very clear he doesn't want to be at Manchester City because he's reminded City again that he wants to leave and he wants to go to Barcelona now. Whether or not it was just a one-time thing for Barcelona or not, that's something that obviously we'll find out this summer. And if Barcelona are pulled out of the race, then he might think, oh, well, I'll stay here then. Maybe it was just like a dream kind of thing that he wanted to play for Barcelona. That's why he wanted to move there. But if not, and he just genuinely isn't happy, which is obviously, like I say, something that we'll find out, it's not a very good situation to be in because we don't know what Bernardo's going to be like now. Other teams will 100% be in the mix because he's one of the best. he's irreplaceable for City. I think he'd walk into any side in world football. I think he's absolutely incredible. So I think there will be teams that are in there. It's just all a situation of if he does now want to leave. That's what we have to figure out. Well, or City have to figure out, and Bernardo has to figure out if does he actually want to leave this club now that Barcelona aren't in the running for him. And
that's the question, isn't it?
And or maybe this is a good shout. This actually from Douglas here. Is this just an attempt from Barcelona to maybe try and get him on a little bit cheaper by basically putting out there that he doesn't want to be like that they can't afford him, basically things, so we're not going to go in for him. Then obviously Bernardo's like, yo, what's going on? I thought I'd be able to leave, but
possibly. But the tweet says they've definitely ruled themselves out. And this source, do you know Rashad Rahman, the guy who used to be called on Twitter? Rashad. Who, for people who don't know, he's an aggregator for Barcelona Football Club, right?
He's the guy who kind of low-key originated the full moon tweet thing.
On the moon, this source, Alfredo Martinez, is a full moon. According to Alfredo Martinez, according to Rashad Rahman, Alfredo Martinez is a top-tier source. And he's saying that they've definitely ruled out the potential of signing Bernardo Silva. So yes, it could be games from Barcelona. However, the statement that's been released there from Alfredo Martinez is kind of very powerful. They will not return for Bernardo Silva in the summer. They don't have the funds. So then, as you're saying, the question then turns into, well, if Barcelona don't get him, where on earth is he going to go? He's not going to leave City to stay in the Premier League, because we believe that the reason he wants to leave City is because he wants to go back to Spain, or he's not going to go to Portugal.
Because everything that we've heard from the Bernardo side of it is he likes City fans. He likes the club. He just doesn't want to be in Manchester anymore. Yeah, he doesn't want to be in the UK.
Don't want to be in the UK. So the question is, where does he go? So there's only a very few select clubs that Bernardo Silva can go to. PSG, could he go to PSG? Would he go to PSG? Maybe. Real Madrid, potentially, but do they really need him with the players that they have got right now? Atletico
Madrid, is an option.
But I would say,
it stinks.
Yeah, it stinks for Bernardo. That's such a downgrade. Then you're looking at maybe Bayern. Does he really? I can't see.
I can't see Bernardo at Bayern. No? That's a weird one. That.
And then the other option, bro, is Italy. Is he going to go to Italy?
AC Milan did want him, but they undervalued him heavy. Remember, they wanted to give us 15 mil over 2 seasons. Well, 30 mil total, 15 mil over 2 seasons, something like that.
Yeah. So the question, the point is, I don't see where Bernardo could go. The only real club I could see him going to is PSG, and I would say again, I'd be like, come on, man. I mean, there's a chance maybe to link up with maybe Mbappe if Mbappe's still there, and Neymar might be, enticing. But
Messi,
if Messi's still there, yeah.
I've seen rumours about a new deal floating about with Messi and PSG. Nick Saunders there says to Portugal, go to Benfica and we get Enzo. But I think that's this is no disrespect, but massive backstep in his career, because Bernardo should be playing at the top level of Champions League football teams for the rest.
He's 28. He's entering his peak.
Yeah,
he can't be going back to Spain.
He can't go Benfica in that. I can't foresee that happening. The PSG one to me seems like probably the most realistic of the lot out of the other teams. Who is it there? Nittin, says LB, he has a good relationship with Luis Campos, the sporting director of PSG. Expect him to leave for PSG. So if he's got a good relationship with that guy, that could be a potential. There was rumours about this happening in the summer as well. So there is, I think there is that kind of shout. I don't know. I don't know. I think it all depends on how bad does he want to leave now that Barcelona aren't in it. Because we knew it was bad that he did want to leave. He was very, very, he was very vocal about it, kind of thing. Not publicly saying that he wanted to get out, but I mean, from what we've heard and from him basically telling the club every year that he wants to go, that seems like, he wants to get off. We know he wants to get off, but we knew he wanted to go to Barcelona. And if you take Barcelona out of the equation, and this is something that we spoke about in summer as well, if you take Barcelona out of the equation, then how bad is that desire to leave? Does that desire to leave then kind of think, maybe he thinks, nah, you know what? I'm probably best off just staying. Like, I get how unhappy is he? That's the question that will always remain until he leaves.
Well, if I look at Real Madrid's squad, they've got Cruz, Modric, Camavinga, Valverde. They've still got Hazard. They've still got Asensio. They've still got Ceballos.
Tchouaméni.
Tchouaméni. So, I mean, where would he go? Are you going to drop Cruz or Modric? Are you going to drop Camavinga or Tchouaméni?
No, because Camavinga's £70 million signing, Tchouaméni £80 million signing. Do you know what I mean? Whatever it was.
I don't see how him getting in there, but obviously Valverde's the right winger, unless they wanted him to play right wing, and then City could be like, "Well, we'll take a little bit of Valverde, please." But that's not going to happen. That's pipe dream stuff. So I don't see him going Real Madrid. He's not going Barca, according to this news. I could see him. I could see Bernardo potentially going to Atletico Madrid, but I would be seriously disappointed if he did that, because I think. I'm not saying that as like a selfish point of view. I'm saying that as a massive Bernardo Silva fan. He needs to be played at the top level and winning trophies because of how good he is. He goes to Atletico, man. He's not going to be doing that.
Leng, that is controversial. Leng just said Bernardo Silva's not that good.
He is that good.
He is that good. He is that good. Like, I won't have it any other way. He is that good.
So that's the thing with Bernardo. We'll have to keep our eye on it. What's his contract situation? Do we know? Bernardo Silva.
Is it 2024, 2025, something like that? Yeah, I'm sure he had 3 years left in summer. We're speaking about
25, yeah. So he's going to have 2 years left in the summer. I don't know what his weekly wage is. Bernardo Silva wages. Let's have a look. What is?
I'm gonna guess 180 or something. Should be on more. I guess it's like 180, something like that. He should be clear of 200, but Bernardo is sick.
Bernardo Silva is on 150, which is less than Calvin Phillips, Diaz, Akanji, Rodri, Foden, John Stones, Grealish, Haaland, and De Bruyne. Now, I personally don't believe that this Bernardo Silva thing's got anything to do with cash. However, you know, if you say to him, look, lad, there ain't really anyone in the market that kind of wants you, that's good enough to have you. So why don't you sign a new contract? We'll whack a release clause in there, and we'll give you 250k a week and say no more.
If you tune into one of our streams and it has anything to do with the contracts, you best believe that me and LB are putting a release clause in there. Like, every single time we speak about contracts, we throw release clauses in left, right, and centre. Us, we're like, we know the fix. Just put a release clause in, then someone needs to pay up.
The thing is, though, a release clause, yeah, you could say to him, look, we'll put a release clause in. You sign a new contract, right? We'll give you 250. We'll put a release clause in, 80 mil, and it's activated if Barcelona or Real Madrid come in for you.
But you don't. But no, because for Bernardo, it should be activated if anyone goes in for him.
Anyone when I'm asked. So getting 80 mil, isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
But then Bernardo might just look at it and go, "Nah, I don't want to do that."
Well, don't do it then. But then he's not got a release clause in, so then we can force him to stay, which ain't a great thing. Not that we do that. We're not the type of club to force players to stay.
If you don't want to be the Pep and or the club will look for him a way out of the club. I think at this moment in time, it's just it ain't working for him. People aren't pointing at the cash, bro.
No,
but then PSG, bro, is one that I think there's something in that says PSG is the realistic option. Or if Barcelona if this is just a ploy by Barcelona, like putting this news out there, do you know what I mean, to try and maybe get him on a cheaper deal, make City sweat a little bit because they know that Bernardo wants to go Barca. That they're the only two things that I could say. I'll see.
Yeah. No, it's a mad one. I've just put a poll in the chat. Let us know what you think. Cast your votes now. Do you think Bernardo Silva will be a Manchester City player next season? Let us know in the chat there. We'll take a look. It's quite heavy at the moment, but there's only 50 votes, so we'll come back to that in a few moments' time. Whilst you're voting on that, massive shout out to the guys at Bet Victor. Like I said before, their video is up on their YouTube channel, talking all things Premier League. And interestingly, check out this clip about the title race. Roll clip, Ray.
Arsenal, weirdly, haven't had an awful World Cup. They played nearly half as many as few minutes as the City players.
Probably picked up the worst injury out of everyone.
What, Gabriel Jesus? Yeah. What do you think
in terms of the importance of the team and what he means to them? Because whilst I think, yes, he didn't score all their goals, he still had a healthy amount of goals. He didn't score all their goals. He was a lot more to the team than just his goals. And Eddie Nketiah coming in, whilst he has scored goals here and there when he's started, to be relied upon every week is going to be difficult. I think they've got some tricky games coming up as well. And the length of that injury, it's like, is it 3 months possibly?
Yeah, end of Feb, it's been reported at the moment.
So whilst most of their players probably didn't pick up fatigue and stuff, and Saka's come back confident and all those kind of things, you know, they've picked up the worst injury probably out of the teams at the top 6.
Yes. Go check out Bet Victor's Last Fan Standing on their YouTube channel. Link is in the description. Speaking about Arsenal, obviously they have picked up one of, if not the worst injury coming out of the World Cup, which is always a shame to see players get injured. But yeah,
they've got some tough games coming up, bro. They've got West Ham, Brighton, Newcastle, Spurs, United.
It's going to be very interesting to see if they dip into the January transfer window with the fact that Gabby being out for 3 to 4 months, whatever it is, and now they have to rely on Eddie Nketiah. Is that a thing?
Well, this is a question that I was just going to ask you. What do you think Arteta will do? Do you think he'll full send Nketiah
or false nine,
or false nine it, or maybe play Martinelli as a striker and put someone else on the wing? That's
probably what I'd send. I'd probably send Martinelli as a striker. Then again, I'd probably send Martinelli as a striker. I'm not sure if he. I don't know. I don't watch Arsenal week in, week out in the sense of what Arsenal fans do, but I don't know if he trusts Eddie Nketiah like that. He might do. Maybe he'll give him a few games, then see if he can do it. Do you know what I mean? Step up to the plate. Here's your chance. And then if it doesn't work out, then do you know what I mean? Throw Martinelli or whoever fits up top.
Yeah. This is going to be the big part of their season. And, you know, I've mentioned all season that I don't believe Arsenal will win the league because I don't think the squad's big enough. They've now got possibly, as I think it was Adam was saying there on the video, probably the worst injury that they could have got in terms of the way that the squad plays and what impact he brings to the team. And it's a bad injury. So, yeah, anyway, interesting developments there at Arsenal. Go check out the video. Links in the description. I'm sure we'll hear more about this Arsenal injury situation with Gabriel Jesus over the coming weeks. But let's turn our attention to the game tonight. We do have a football match to talk about.
Yes, we do.
Manchester City are playing Liverpool in the Carabao Cup tonight. Obviously, a big game. We've seen obviously other players come back. Everyone's back from the World Cup now, bar Julian Alvarez. I'm just going to start off by going through the final comments from the embargoed section last night, as I feel that's probably a good place to start. And then we can just full send it. So Pep Guardiola, this is from the embargoed section last night. He said, "My first feeling is Man City players will be okay. What I heard, the World Cup was perfect. They felt pressure, but not too much. It was like playing in England or Italy. Qatar was more calm and more relaxed. That's why I think they'll be okay. People have the ability to forget the good things or bad things very quickly and start again. But at the same time, I don't know. It's the first time, so we will see. I talked with the guys that came back and spoke with them all individually to see how they feel. They've started to train, and we'll see how they behave and how they are after that. We will take this decision." Again, he said Gundogan had an extra few more days because he asked for a few more days. Kevin came back as soon as the family was here. They trained really well. Maybe some will need a little more time. Maybe there will be fatigue in March and April. So again, this kind of goes back to what I've been saying yesterday and basically got this whole World Cup period in that, yes, Haaland, Mahrez, Gomez, Palmer, yes, these players didn't go to the World Cup. But as Pep Guardiola said in his press conference, that doesn't mean that they're going to be 100% ready because they're not fully match fit. They're fresh, but they're not match fit. So it's going to be an interesting balance between getting players like Gundogan and Kevin in there who are match fit and who've played in the World Cup, and players like Haaland and Mahrez who are fresh but are not quite match sharp because they've not played a game in a month. Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting game tonight. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of pace we're at. Do you know what I mean? Like where are we in terms of footballing level? I feel like this whole World Cup break has been a very weird one because I feel detached from part one. Obviously, this season is now 2 parts, and I feel like detached from part one a little bit. Do you know what I mean? It feels like that little part one was a season in itself. Like, and now it feels like we're in pre-season again, and then we're going to the first game of the season. It's a proper weird situation. So,
which is funny enough because the first game of the season was Liverpool in the Community Shield.
Oh yeah, that was true. Yeah, so it's weird. It's going to be interesting to see tonight what our pace is like and how up to scratch, or say how much lacking match sharpness we really are, especially like you say with Mahrez and Haaland not even going to play football at all. But then again, Liverpool have a full 11 who didn't even go anywhere.
Yeah. That's it. So again, it's going to be interesting. I don't really know what to expect from tonight. I did say on the preview yesterday, the opposition fan preview, that my score prediction is going to be 3-2. I'm going 3-2 City, but I think there's going to be goals. I think it'll be interesting to see whether or not Mahrez and Haaland and Salah and the rest of Liverpool's attacking line can sort of get the advantage over the defenders. We will see. Very, very shortly. Yes, Dave coming in with a $2 donation.
It says Dave.
Enzo Fernandez in the World Cup. He's very good, bro. We've rated him since we first seen him when we played for River Plate, and I think he's a top player. Obviously, we found out from Patsy that Man City could have signed Enzo Fernandez for around 10 million quid in the summer, but opted not to do so because we'd had too many players in the team. That now looks a little bit possibly not the best decision. I think he's great. I'm still just favouring Bellingham. However, if we can't get Bellingham and Enzo's the guy who we end up getting, I'll be very, very happy.
City will be fuming with that. City will be fuming. Imagine knowing that you could have signed this guy for 10 million summer, then and to then have to go spend say 90 million on him or whatever it'll cost to get him out of Benfica. That is pain. That is big pain. But I thought you had a decent World Cup, Enzo. It's mad. I just think I had a sick World Cup. I see you've gone 3-2. I'm not ready for that, bro. My heart can't take that.
I just think that it's a cup game, bro. I don't think it's going to be cagey. I think both teams are going to send it. I think you look at the defence. It's highly possible that Rico Lewis will play at right back. It's highly possible that it'll be Ake and Akanji, and it'll highly be possible that it'll be Sergio Gomez. It's not the strongest defence in the world. You look at Liverpool's defence. Is Van Dijk going to play? Probably not. You know what I mean? Is Trent going to play? Possibly, but he's not going to be fully match fit because he hasn't played a game. So I just think that there's going to be goals. I just do. I think there's going to be goals. And obviously Ortega's going to be in net for City tonight. So it's going to be a big test for him. It's the biggest test he's had in the City kit so far. You know, we're all, I say we all, but I'm assuming that as City fans, we're all very happy with Ortega so far this season. But tonight's the night that he gets tested. You know, we was all happy with Stefan. We was all happy with him until the Liverpool game. So it's going to be a big one.
I think he was tested against Chelsea in the previous round. He
did very, very good.
He did very
well. I just think because I think this defense, this team might be slightly weaker than that, just because it's obviously the World Cup. So I just think maybe he'll get tested even more. And obviously Salah just before the World Cup was in hot form, scoring goals for fun just before the World Cup. Will he continue that form tonight?
Hopefully not.
Ortega be able to do? Yeah, hopefully not. We could do him not starting.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2-1 City. I have to back my team, and I always have to back my team. Obviously, it's such a weird situation that we're going into this one because we don't really know what to expect from this side. It's hard to see. We don't really know what team's going to be starting. It's very, very, very mixed. So I have mixed feelings about this. I'm not going to lie. It's not a game that I wanted to come back to. To come back straight into this game is a bit of a rip, but it is what it is. It's one of them things, isn't it? Especially with the amount of lads that we have that go to the World Cup. Do we have 16 players that went to the World Cup?
You're 16. It was the most, wasn't it?
It's the most that went. And City get a bit of cash for that, don't they? Is it from FIFA or whatever? We get a bit of cash for the most lads going, but at the same time, it doesn't bode well for our Carabao triumph. But hopefully we can do the bit. You know what I mean? We're getting thrown these difficult fixtures at us. Let's just hope that sink or swim in it. Let's hope we can swim, given the situations that we're in. I'd love to say this is easy. It's going to get now for a couple of weeks, but it's not. This is a start of This is the start of something that's like an incredibly difficult run for Manchester City. We're not going back and just going, oh yeah, a couple of easy games to get ourselves worked in. Nah, mate, left, right, and centre, we're getting tests.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Arsenal are getting some tests as well. However, Arsenal are top, so they've got a
5-point buffer in it, so they can slip up.
They've got that ability to have that little slip up. We don't.
We
need to full send it. So I don't know. Anyway, it starts tonight. Live watch along as always. I think what time we start? Another watch along 7, is it?
It's scheduled for 7 at the moment. Yeah.
Buzzing. So we'll be live at 7 o'clock, bringing you that team news reaction and all the build up to tonight's game. This stream is going to automatically redirect you over to the watch along. Do us a favor, smash a thumbs up on the stream as soon as you go there. Yeah, get them likes up before we even start. Do us a solid, man. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your day. Big game tonight. City versus Liverpool. Carabao Cup. It's the Carabao Cup draw straight after it as well. So we'll look forward to that. And yeah, I guess we'll see you later. See you in a bit.